Hey everyone, so I'm at my friend's shop today with my RSX and kind of just working away at trying to figure out how best to attack converting this car to all-wheel drive. So if this is first time seeing any of my videos, this is my 2006 RSX Type S. A little while ago I swapped in a K24 A2 from a 2006 TSX and dyno tuned it and made 227 wheel horsepower, 172 foot-pounds torque. And basically the plan with this car is to convert it to all-wheel drive and add a turbo kit and shoot for at least 500, 600 horse in around that area. So today I have a bunch of the CRV parts from a CRV that I just recently parted out, and I wanted to look at them, figure out how best to attack converting this RSX to all-wheel drive. So the plan is, I guess I'm gonna put it up in the air and start figuring out what the best way of doing this is. So let's get started. Okay, so now that the RSX is up in the air, I kind of want to just go over what has to be done underneath. Basically the front subframe needs to be replaced to the CRV one because this mounting bracket is in the way of the transfer case. So the CRV one has it over here and lines up with that, and then there'll be space for the drive shaft to run to the back. The next hurdle moving backwards is this needs to be removed. It's in the way of the center drive shaft. Keep going. One issue on RSXs is that this tunnel kind of disappears as you get to the back seat. Normally your exhaust would run through here, or the center drive shaft would run through here, but in this case it kind of disappears. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to cut it, lift it up, and then make up the difference inside. And then moving back further, the next hurdle will be the gas tank. The gas tank is basically exactly in the way of where the diff needs to go, and the diff has to go here so that I can connect it to the axles, to the rear wheels. So what I'm hoping is I can actually find a solution, an OEM solution. What I'm hoping is that there's actually a fair amount of space back here, and I think I can maybe use another car's gas tank, something like an FRS or maybe like a Mini Cooper, one of the minis that had all-wheel drive, which would actually have a center drive shaft down to the back wheels. I'm wondering if I can basically get one of those gas tanks that have the center clearance, so that I can have space for the diff and the center drive shaft. If that doesn't work, a good friend of mine, he converted an EK Civic to all-wheel drive, and he used a Civic steel gas tank and he cut it and he welded in a pipe which ended up being clearance for the center drive shaft and the rear diff. So that's an option as well. I think technically I could probably fit a Civic gas tank in here and do that modification if need be, but there's a fair amount of space here, and I'm sure I can find something that will bolt in place without having to do anything major. So yeah, next I guess is the trailing arms. The trailing arms aren't all-wheel drive trailing arms on the RSX, but luckily the CRV trailing arms are exactly the same and they will bolt right in. Basically completely bolt in from what I've seen. A little bit of difference with like parking brake cables and whatnot, but that can all be sorted out. But basically I'll be able to take the CRV rear trailing arms over there, bolt them in place, and then I'll be able to install the drive shafts into them. And so yeah, I think the biggest thing is that these trailing arms are interchangeable with the CRV. That's kind of one of the main reasons why I chose the RSX to convert to all-wheel drive, because that makes it pretty easy in that sense. And then really the only fab work that has to happen is making a bracket to hold the diff here and figuring out what to do about a gas tank, obviously. So otherwise most of it's bolt in. I have a viscous coupling drive shaft off of a Land Rover Freelander. That's what apparently most guys use. So I'll use that drive shaft in combination with the CRV drive shaft to make the two drive shafts one, and that's how I'll get power to the rear diff. And I guess as for drivetrain, so transmission and diff, let's start with the diff, I guess. So with these diffs, they have clutch packs inside, and what most guys do is open it up and drill and pin and then weld up the clutch pack so that it's locked 100%, doesn't have any slip, and then that's why you utilize the viscous coupler to give a little bit of slip between the front and the rear wheels. As for the transmission, I believe this was a 2004 CRV that I parted out. So 2004 CRV with the 5-speed all-wheel drive transmission. What I'm planning on doing with this is opening it up and taking out the 5-speed guts and installing 6-speed guts. For now, it will be OEM 6-speed. See how long that lasts. I actually have like 3 transmissions, 3 6-speed transmissions. So they can all be donors for gears if they break and whatnot, depending on how much power it's running. But the big thing is I also want to figure out what to do about an LSD. This car has a LSD right now. Right now it has a 06 Civic SI transmission with the OEM LSD, and I like the fact that it has an OEM LSD. So, and I want to be able to run an LSD on this all-wheel drive transmission. So I'm trying to figure out if there is a way to modify the OEM LSD to still work in the all-wheel drive transmission, or if I have to just buy one of the off-the-shelf units. So in one of the upcoming videos, I'm going to take this transmission apart and then take apart one of the other transmissions that I have with the OEM LSD and see if it can be machined or modified in a way to be able to run the OEM LSD inside of this gearbox. Once the transmission's converted to 6-speed, then what I think I'm gonna do is drop the subframe, swap in the all-wheel drive transmission with the 6-speed guts, and see how that works. I'm hoping it will all fit and I will be able to just run the all-wheel drive transmission without anything else hooked up, without the drive shaft hooked up or whatnot. Hopefully, I'm hoping it will clear my exhaust arrangement. I think it might be close, but we'll see. And at least then, once that's done, then I can start working towards the rest of it, the center drive shaft and the diff and sorting out the gas tank. So that is the plan for this winter, to basically convert this car to all-wheel drive. So yeah, that is the plan so far. By all means, if you guys have any better ideas or options, or post up in the comments any suggestions, because if there's a better way of doing things, I'm happy to hear it. So anyways, yeah, that was it. That is, I guess, this is the first step to converting it to all-wheel drive, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I guess thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye now.